Da-da-da-da. Let's add some charisma to this bitch. Maybe now I can convince someone to help my motherfucking ass. Already did my perks.
Kiddo.
Fuck off.
How are the paper sales?
Well, the presses are getting overloaded. That motor is going to go soon if we don't replace it.
You've been saying that for weeks.
Oh.
And the girl still keeps cranking. Stop worrying so much.
Yeah, don't worry so much.
You start whistling if you see any angry politicians coming our way.
Why? Is something wrong? Piper? Free paper to newcomers. If the Institute grabs you in the night, at least we warned you.
Oh yeah, you did, huh?
Thanks, I guess.
I'm serious. The Institute takes people. You should read up instead of sticking around.
Yeah, they probably took your son.
I believe you. Thanks.
You're a real lost lamb in the wolf's den, mister. So what are you doing in Diamond City anyway?
Looking for someone who's missing.
Let me guess. That someone's gone missing, right? That's what I'm telling you. So who is it?
I'm looking for Shaun. He's my son. Less than a year old.
I will scream it to the rooftops till someone knows something.
Old. You're in bad luck. No one tries to find missing people in Diamond City.
You're young and stupid.
Missing people
Call me
means
old.
The Institute is involved. And no one's going to want to get the Institute's attention.
Someone
You're a
can
smart
help.
kid. Isn't there someone in town who isn't afraid of this Institute?
Well, there is the
Yeah!
detective, Mr.
Persuasion,
Valentine.
bitch.
He's not afraid of anything. If anyone's gonna help you, it's him.
The badass Nick Valentine.
Thanks. You were a big help.
Remember, the Institute's out there, newcomer. Watch your back.
And your front. Dun 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 dun. Playing Fallout. What's up, Piper?
Drop by. You holding up, Blue?
Why are you calling me that?
Because of the blue jumpsuit you're wearing? You're a vault dweller. So here's the deal. I want an interview. Your life story in print.
Wonder what she'd call me if I
This time
wasn't
Diamond
wearing
City
that.
had a little outside perspective on the Commonwealth. You do that, and I'll tell you what. I'll come with you. Watch your back while you get used to the world above ground.
Nice.
All right, Piper. I'm in.
Good. Let's get down to business.
Interview time.
So, I know you're from a vault. How would you describe your time on the inside?
My family and I were frozen. I didn't spend much time in the vault.
Wait, they boxed you up in a fridge
And technically, you still did.
the whole time?
Dumbass.
Are you saying you were alive before the war?
Yes. I'm over 200 years old.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The
Big
man
200.
So, you've seen the Commonwealth, Diamond City. How does it compare to your old life?
Yeah.
Honestly, seeing everyone surviving out here,
Give him some hope.
rebuilding the world, it gives me hope.
That's surprisingly inspired, Blue. We're definitely quoting that. Now, I already know you're looking for your son, Shaun. Do you suspect the Institute was involved in his kidnapping?
I don't know.
No one ever does.
They
That's what
are.
makes them so scary. For the last part of our interview, I'd like to do something different. I want you to make a statement to Diamond City directly. The threat of kidnapping is all but ignored in the Commonwealth. Everyone wants to pretend it just doesn't happen. What would you say to someone out there who's lost a loved one but might be too scared or too numb to the world to look for them?
One day
You
at
gotta
a
take it
time.
one day at a time. Just keep going. That's all anyone can do.
We're all just doing what we
Just
have
keep
to, huh?
swimming. Just keep swimming.
I think
And
my leaders
other
can
stuff
relate to
that involves
That's everything.
swimming.
It's gonna take some time to put this all together, but I think your story is gonna give Diamond City plenty to talk about. Anyway.
Yeah, talk
I
about
agreed
this
to come
dick.
with you, right?
Now spread them
Watch your
fucking
back.
cheeks. Let me lick that
Just say
ass
the word
out.
when you're ready.
Lick that ass out.
Wait to see where the story goes next.
Awesome. Give me those. Give me those. Give me those. Give me those. Just give me everything you got, bitch.
Anything I can do?
Nope. I'm looking for some bottle caps, bitch. And you got plenty of containers to look in. Do 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 do. Water. Dirty fucking water. Ooh, Nuka-Cola. Give me that. Fucking sugar bombs. Hell yeah. Some fucking snackage. Bobby pin box. Pre-war
There's a
money.
classic.
Quit bitching about me stealing your shit. Give me your shotgun shells. And your fucking stim packs and whatever that was I just took. Give me that and that. Ooh, give me that tan suit too. You get out of this. And that's clean, so. Nothing in desk. Let's use Piper's terminal. It's nothing more fun than invading privacy. Article, that's synthetic truth. Noodles. We all eat them. We all love them. And Diamond City's Power Noodles has supplied this sustenance for the past 15 years. From the stilted mechanical cadence of Takahashi's programmed Japanese to the fragrant steam that wafts from each bowl to the scalding tang of each delicious mouthful. Yeah, mouthful of this dick. The ordering and eating of noodles is but one of many shared human experiences. Or is it? I was struck by this very question as I sat at the counter of Power Noodles last Wednesday night, just after 5 p.m., enjoying a dinner I had so many times before. That's when I noticed our very own Mayor McDonough sidle up to a stool and engage in the very same ritual. Right hand extending, mouth opening, teeth chewing, yes. Eating noodles, the shared experience of almost every Diamond City resident. So it must have also seemed to the residents of Diamond City nearly 60 years ago, on an uncharacteristically warm May evening in 2229, as they sat around this very same counter. But that was before the days of Takahashi and his noodles, when the bar served not noodles but ice-cold Nuka-Colas, frothy beers, and stiff shots of whiskey. The barman's name was Henry, and that night he facilitated the shared human experiences of drinking, smoking, talking, and laughing. That is, or even old enough to remember that evening, although some of the city's ghoul residents certainly could have, not had they not been forcibly removed thanks to Mayor McDonough's anti-ghoul decree of 2282. But there is one person among us who does remember distinctly the events of that evening. Respected matriarch Eustace Hawthorne, who recounted her story in a public occurrences exclusive interview. Oh, I was there all right, sitting right at the bar, sure as you're sitting in front of me right now, 22 years old or so, just looking to have a good time. I was safe behind a wall. We all were. So what was the harm? And let me tell you, that Mr. Carter made it easy. He came into town earlier that day, said he was from out west somewhere. Didn't really matter. What did matter was his smile and his laugh and the way he'd make everyone feel at ease. That night at the bar, we all just sort of crowded around him, everybody wanted to exchange a word or hear about the state of the Commonwealth. And Mr. Carter, he was all too happy to oblige. It was just so wonderful. Until it wasn't. Eustace continued her account of that evening in the moment when things turned sinister and the truth about Mr. Carter was revealed. We'd been drinking and carrying on. Must have been 3 hours. Mr. Carter had 4 or 5 drinks in that time. He seemed a bit drunk, I guess, like the rest of us. Then something just sort of happened. He was smiling, but the smile sort of went from his face, all in an instant, and then his cheeks started twitching, kind of funny like. And I remember watching him clear as if it happened just yesterday. He reached inside his coat, took out a revolver, then blam! He shot Henry the barman right in the fucking head. He didn't hesitate, didn't show any emotion. Mr. Carter killed Henry as casually as if he were paying him for a fucking drink. But his cheek never did stop twitching. Let me tell you, all hell broke loose after that. What Eustace is describing is, of course, is the infamous event known as the Broken Mask, when the people of the Commonwealth learned for the first time that the Institute, the shadowy scientific organization responsible for the creation of combat androids, had actually succeeded and created a model of androids so advanced it could effortlessly infiltrate human society. Unbeknownst to the people of Diamond City, the Institute had somehow evolved their androids into true synthetic humanoids. Since, after he shot Henry, that Mr. Carter shot 3 or 4 other people too. Like I said, all hell broke loose. The guards came running, they opened fire, and Mr. Carter, he kept shooting and throwing people around left and right. Finally, those guards put him down. Seemed like they had killed a man who had flipped his lid, gone crazy. And he lay there like a dead crazy man. Sure enough. God, it was horrible. But then we saw the plastic and the metal. This was one of them's early sins, you see. And we realized it wasn't a man at all. It was just them. We all knew. The Institute wasn't just out there. The Institute was everywhere now, among us. It was never determined precisely why the synth known as Mr. Carter went on his killing spree. Some suggested he had somehow been remotely controlled by the Institute, who wanted to test his combat effectiveness. Still, others felt he had simply malfunctioned, a hypothesis supported by the twitching cheek, and was never meant to kill anyone. But at that time, the why hardly seemed important. What mattered was that the humans of the Commonwealth had been truly infiltrated by an organization whose intentions and motives were, and still are, a complete mystery. Which brings us to noodles, specifically the noodles consumed by Mayor McDonough last Wednesday night in the same spot that Mr. Carter, the synth, went haywire and mercilessly killed several people. After spending hours sharing an experience the people of Diamond City assumed was reserved for members of the human race, they were wrong. Are we? Nice. Reader complaints file. Honor the wall. In your most recent edition, your paper failed to acknowledge in any way the contribution of the mighty wall in defense of our own town against last month's Supermutant attacks. I find this extremely offensive and will not be purchasing another copy until such disrespect is publicly corrected. Published response. We honor the efforts of all those involved in the defense of our great city, from our valiant guards to the mighty wall. Personal response. Dear Whack Job, 2 members of Diamond City Security died defending this town. Where was your hunk of plywood for them? Happy story? Question mark. I find choice of topics sad. How about a happy story? Maybe something about nice bar. Published response. Thank you for your feedback. Our stories are selected for relevance and importance to the Diamond City populace. Personal response. Vadim, no story about your bar is going to end happily. True that. For shame. Your paper is just trying to drum up fears about cents to increase sales. You should be ashamed of yourself. Published response. Thank you